Take the ferry from Donsak Pier to Koh Samui on a Tuesday morning in January. What should be the height of high season when boats are packed with excited tourists heading to Thailand's second largest island for beach holidays, and you'll notice something immediately wrong. The ferry that's designed to carry 400 passengers has maybe 120 people on board. The upper deck, which used to require arriving early to secure a seat, has vast sections completely empty. The duty-free shop on board that used to do brisk business selling alcohol, cigarettes, and snacks to tourists stocking up for their island stay now has a single board cashier scrolling through her phone because almost no one is buying anything. Arrive at Nathon Pier in Koh Samui and the emptiness becomes even more striking. The taxi and Songthae drivers who used to swarm arriving passengers competing aggressively for fares now stand in clusters smoking cigarettes and chatting because there aren't enough tourists to go around. The tour operators offering island tours, snorkeling trips, and excursions have folded up their promotional tables because hours go by without a single inquiry. The 7-Eleven near the pier, which used to have lines of tourists buying SIM cards and snacks, is quiet, with staff outnumbering customers. Drive along Chaweng Beach, Koh Samui's main tourist strip, and you'll see the same pattern repeated. Beachfront hotels that used to hang no vacancy signs during peak season now have availability, offering promotions and discounts to fill rooms. Restaurants with prime beach locations sit half-empty during what should be lunch and dinner rush hours. Beach clubs that were famous for packed pool parties and day-drinking crowds have scattered groups of tourists, their massive facilities operating at 20% to 30% capacity. The beach itself, while still beautiful, has far more empty beach chairs than occupied ones, vendors walking long stretches without encountering a customer. This isn't just Koh Samui. Take a boat to Koh Phangan, the island famous for full moon parties that used to draw 20,000 to 30,000 revelers monthly, and you'll find the parties now attract 8,000 to 12,000, a decline of 60% from peak years. Visit Koh Tao, the diving mecca that used to be packed with certification courses and live-aboard divers and dive shops report business down 40% to 50%. Travel to Koh Phi Phi, made globally famous by the movie The Beach, and the over-tourism that once threatened to destroy the island has been replaced by an eerie quiet, with far fewer day trippers and overnight visitors than the island was built to accommodate. Even Thailand's more remote southern islands, Koh Lipe near the Malaysian border, Koh Lanta and Krabi, Koh Chang near Cambodia, are reporting similar patterns. Tourist numbers down 30% to 50% compared to pre-pandemic levels. Businesses struggling to survive. Staff being laid off. Properties closing temporarily or permanently. The Thai island paradise dream that drew millions of tourists annually is fading, and the crisis is accelerating. The numbers tell a story that Thailand's tourism authority doesn't want to acknowledge, but can't hide from anyone in the industry. Combined international tourist arrivals to Thailand's major island destinations, Phuket, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Koh Tao, Krabi's Islands, Koh Chang, and the southern Andaman Islands, totaled approximately 8.2 million in 2024. That compares to 13.8 million in 2019, a decline of 40%. The recovery that was supposed to happen after COVID restrictions lifted hasn't materialized, and by early 2025, the numbers are stagnating or declining further rather than growing. The composition of tourists has also shifted dramatically in ways that hurt the economics of island tourism. The high-spending, long-staying international tourists, who used to be the foundation of the island economy, Europeans on 2-week beach holidays, Russians on month-long winter escapes, wealthy Asians on luxury getaways, have been replaced by budget-conscious regional tourists and domestic Thai visitors who stay shorter and spend less. Average length of stay on Thai islands has dropped from 6.2 nights in 2019 to 3.8 nights in 2024. Tourists are doing shorter trips, often combining a quick island visit with time in Bangkok or other cities, rather than dedicating their entire vacation to beach destinations. This reduced length of stay means less accommodation revenue, fewer meals eaten, fewer tours taken, less retail spending, dramatically impacting the total economic contribution per visitor. Spending per tourist per day has also collapsed. In 2019, the average tourist on Thai islands spent approximately 300 to 800 baht per day on accommodation, food, activities, and shopping. In 2024, that figure has fallen to 2,000 won to 2,400 baht. When you combine shorter stays with lower daily spending, the total revenue per tourist has fallen by 55% to 60%. For islands where tourism is essentially the only economic activity, this is catastrophic. Hotel occupancy rates tell the story clearly. Koh Samui's hotels are running at 52% to 58% occupancy during what should be peak season, compared to 82% to 88% in 2019. Koh Phangan is at 45% to 50%, down from 75% to 80%. Koh Tao is below 40% in many properties. These occupancy levels are below break-even for most hotels, meaning they're losing money every month they operate. Let's start with the cost explosion that has destroyed the Thai island's fundamental value proposition. For decades, Thailand's islands offered an unbeatable combination: stunning natural beauty, great weather, excellent food, and incredibly low prices. You could have an amazing beach holiday for $30 to $50 per day, including accommodation, meals, and activities. That value equation no longer exists. Accommodation costs have increased 60% to 80% on most islands compared to pre-pandemic levels. A beachfront bungalow that cost 800 to 1,000 baht per night in 2018 now costs 500 to 2,000 baht for similar or worse quality. Mid-range hotels that were 1,500 to 2,000 baht are now 3,000 to 4,000 baht. Even budget hostels have increased from 300 to 400 baht to 600 to 800 baht per bed. Food and beverage prices have followed the same trajectory. A meal at a beach restaurant that cost 150 to 200 baht in 2019 now costs 280 to 350 baht. Fresh seafood dinners have gone from 400 to 500 baht per person to 800 to 1,200 baht. A beer at a beach bar that was 80 to 100 baht is now 160 to 200 baht. Cocktails have doubled or tripled in price. Even street food and local restaurants have increased prices by 40% to 60%. Activities and tours have become significantly more expensive as well. A day snorkeling trip that cost 1,200 to 1,500 baht now costs 2,200 to 2,800 baht. Scuba diving, which used to be one of the world's most affordable places to get certified, has increased from 8,000 to 10,000 baht for open water certification to 14,000 to 18,000 baht. Kayak Rantos Island. Tours, massage, everything costs more. Transportation to and between islands has also become more expensive. Ferries that cost 300 to 500 baht now cost 600 to 800 baht. Speedboats have increased even more dramatically. Internal island transportation, taxis, scooter rentals, all cost significantly more than they did a few years ago. When tourists do the math, Thailand's islands are no longer the bargain they once were. A week on Koh Samui or Koh Phangan that would have cost $400 to $600 total in 2018 now costs $900 to $1,400. At those price points, tourists start comparing Thailand to other beach destinations globally, and increasingly, they're deciding that Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines, or even domestic beach destinations in their home countries offer better value. The environmental degradation of Thailand's islands has reached a point where it's actively driving tourists away. The paradise that travelers expect based on photos and marketing no longer matches reality in many locations. The water quality around popular islands has deteriorated noticeably. Coral reefs that used to be vibrant and full of marine life are bleached and dying. The water clarity that made snorkeling and diving spectacular has declined due to pollution, boat traffic, and runoff from development. Tourists arrive expecting crystal clear turquoise water and find murky, greenish water that's unappealing for swimming. The beaches themselves show visible signs of environmental stress. Plastic pollution is endemic, with trash washing up daily despite cleanup efforts. Some beaches are eroding due to overdevelopment removing natural vegetation and coastal protection. The sand quality has degraded in areas where heavy foot traffic and beach furniture have compacted and damaged the natural beach structure. The overdevelopment has destroyed much of the natural charm that made the islands attractive in the first place. Coastlines that were once pristine and undeveloped are now lined, wall to wall, with hotels, restaurants, and businesses. The sense of escape and tranquility that used to define island vacations has been replaced by commercialized strips that feel more like tourist factories than natural paradises. The destruction of coral reefs due to overtourism, anchor damage from boats, sunscreen chemicals, and climate change has eliminated one of the primary reasons many tourists visited Thailand's islands. Dive sites that used to be world-class are now mediocre at best. Snorkeling spots that were teeming with colorful fish and healthy coral are now graveyards of bleached coral with minimal marine life. Divers and snorkelers who visit are disappointed and spread word that Thailand's underwater attractions aren't worth the trip anymore. The seasonal jellyfish invasions that have become more common and severe are also deterring tourists. In recent years, box jellyfish and other dangerous species have appeared in increasing numbers around Thai islands during certain months, making swimming hazardous and sometimes closing beaches entirely. The unpredictability and danger create anxiety for tourists planning beach holidays. The competition from other Southeast Asian beach destinations has intensified dramatically, and Thai islands are losing market share badly. Indonesia, particularly Bali, but also emerging destinations like Lombok, the Gili Islands, Flores, and Raja Ampat, has positioned itself as offering better value, better diving and snorkeling, more pristine environments, and more authentic cultural experiences than Thailand. Bali alone has captured a massive share of beach tourism that used to flow to Thai islands, especially among younger travelers and digital nomads. Vietnam's beach destinations, Da Nang, Nha Trang, Phu Quoc, Quy Nhon, have developed rapidly and offer excellent beach experiences at lower prices than Thailand. The Vietnamese government has invested heavily in tourism infrastructure, and the results are showing. Tourists who might have defaulted to Thailand for beach holidays are increasingly choosing Vietnam. The Philippines, with its 7,000-plus islands, offers endless beach options that are less crowded and less commercialized than Thailand. Destinations like Palawan, Siargao, Boracay after its cleanup, and countless smaller islands are attracting tourists who want the island experience without the mass tourism and environmental degradation that plagues Thai islands. Even Malaysia's islands, Langkawi, the Perhentians, Tioman, are competing effectively against Thai islands on price, accessibility, and environmental quality. For tourists already in Southeast Asia or planning multi-country trips, these alternatives are easy to choose over Thailand. The pricing comparison kills Thailand in many cases. A week on a nice beach in the Philippines or Indonesia can cost 40% to 50% less than the equivalent experience on a Thai island, with better environmental conditions, fewer crowds, and more authentic local interactions. For budget-conscious travelers, especially the young backpackers who used to be Thailand's bread and butter, the math increasingly doesn't support choosing Thailand. The shift in tourist preferences and travel styles has worked against Thai island's traditional model. Modern travelers, especially millennials and Gen Z, prioritize different things than the tourists who made Thai islands famous. They want sustainable tourism, authentic cultural experiences, off-the-beaten-path discoveries, wellness and fitness activities, and Instagram-worthy adventures. Thai islands, with their mass tourism, environmental degradation, and party reputation, don't align well with these preferences. The rise of conscious travel and concerns about over-tourism have made tourists actively avoid destinations like Koh Phi Phi, Maya Bay, and parts of Koh Samui that have become symbols of tourism destroying natural environments. Travelers who want to feel good about their vacation choices are explicitly seeking alternatives to Thai islands, choosing less developed, more sustainable destinations. The dominance of social media in travel decisions has also hurt Thai islands. When Instagram and TikTok are full of photos and videos showing crowded, polluted, commercialized Thai beaches, while simultaneously showing pristine, empty beaches in less-known Indonesian or Philippine islands, the comparison is devastating. The aspirational image of Thai islands that used to exist has been replaced by a reality that looks unappealing in the harsh light of social media comparison. The party island reputation, while it used to be an asset attracting young tourists, has become a liability as it alienates other segments. Families don't want to vacation on islands known for full moon parties and raging nightlife. Couples seeking romantic getaways are put off by the loud, chaotic atmosphere. Older travelers and retirees find the party scene exhausting and off-putting. Thai islands, optimized for one demographic and are now struggling as that demographic shrinks and other segments avoid them. The scam culture and aggressive tourist exploitation that exists on Thai islands has reached a critical mass, where it's destroying the destination's reputation globally. The incidents are documented endlessly on social media and travel forums, creating a narrative that Thai islands are places where tourists get ripped off rather than treated well. Jet ski scams are ubiquitous on nearly every major island. Tourists rent jet skis and upon return are accused of damage and threatened with police involvement unless they pay thousands of baht in repairs. The scam is so well documented that travel advisories warn about it, yet it continues because enforcement is weak and profits are high. Taxi and transportation scams are equally pervasive. Lack of metered taxis, price gouging by taxi cartels, motorcycle taxi drivers overcharging, Songthae drivers refusing to go to certain areas, or demanding extra money, all create an environment where tourists feel they're being ripped off with every ride. The transportation mafia's control over island transport is complete, and tourists have essentially no recourse. Tour operator scams, where promised itineraries don't match reality, boats are unsafe or overcrowded. Snorkel and dive sites are changed to inferior locations. Equipment is poor quality, are common enough that tourists arrive expecting to be disappointed. The dive industry particularly has been hurt by a race to the bottom where operators cut corners on safety, equipment, and instructor quality to offer the lowest prices. Restaurant and bar scams, inflated bills, double charging, menu prices that don't match actual charges, all contribute to a climate of distrust. Tourists feel they need to be vigilant at every transaction, exhausting and antithetical to the relaxed vacation mindset they're seeking. The COVID hangover has also had lasting effects on Thai islands that extend beyond the immediate pandemic period. Many businesses on the islands closed permanently during COVID, unable to survive 18+ months with zero revenue. The ones that survived often did so by taking on debt, cutting quality, or burning through savings. Now operating in a reduced demand environment, they're struggling to recover financially. The workforce disruption has been significant. Many Thais who worked in island tourism returned to their home provinces during COVID and haven't come back. The islands face chronic labor shortages in hospitality, even while overall demand is down, because workers don't want to return to uncertain, low-paying jobs in expensive islands when they can stay in cheaper regions with family support. The quality of service has declined as a result. Inexperienced staff, overworked remaining employees, reduced training, and low morale all contribute to visitor experiences that don't match the traditional Thai hospitality reputation. Tourists notice and complain about service quality, which feeds into the overall perception of decline. The psychological impact of COVID on travel behavior also lingers. Many potential tourists became comfortable with domestic travel during the pandemic and haven't resumed international trips to the same degree. The hassle and expense of international travel feels less worth it when domestic options exist. For Europeans, Americans, and Australians, domestic beach destinations or closer international options feel more appealing than the long journey to Thailand. The domestic Thai tourism push has also had mixed effects on the islands. The government heavily promoted domestic tourism to compensate for lost international visitors. Thai tourists have responded, visiting islands in greater numbers, but their spending patterns are completely different. Thais stay in budget accommodation, eat at local restaurants rather than tourist restaurants, and spend far less overall than international tourists. The economic impact per visitor is 60% to 70% lower than international tourists. The infrastructure on Thai islands, while it's improved in some ways, has also created new problems. The airports on islands like Koh Samui have limited capacity and are controlled by Bangkok Airways with monopoly pricing. Flight costs from Bangkok to Koh Samui are often more expensive than international flights of similar distance. This pricing makes island access prohibitively expensive for budget travelers who would take ferries but don't want to spend 6 to 8 hours traveling from Bangkok to the islands. The roads on many islands remain poor, dangerous, and congested. Scooter accidents involving tourists are epidemic, with hospitals treating dozens of injured tourists daily. The danger and hassle of getting around islands deters many tourists and creates anxiety for those who do visit. The waste management and water infrastructure on islands hasn't kept pace with development. Many islands struggle with sewage, treatment, trash disposal, and water supply. The environmental impact is obvious and off-putting to tourists who see trash, smell sewage, and worry about water quality. The business community on Thai islands is in crisis, and the human toll is devastating. Hotel owners describe situations where they're losing money every month, unable to fill rooms even at discounted rates, watching their life savings and decades of work evaporate. Restaurant and bar owners report revenues down 50% to 70%, staff reduced to skeleton crews, hours cut, menus simplified to reduce costs, all just to survive another month. Dive shop owners whose businesses depend on healthy reefs and consistent tourist flow face an existential crisis. The reefs are dying, the tourists are fewer, and the economics don't work anymore. Many are closing, selling equipment, and leaving the industry entirely after decades of operation. The Thai staff who depend on island tourism for livelihoods, hotel workers, restaurant, servers, boat drivers, tour guides, masseuses, are facing unemployment or dramatically reduced hours and income. Many have left already, and those who remain are anxious about how long they can continue. The future of Thai islands is uncertain and depends largely on whether fundamental changes occur. The most optimistic scenario involves a coordinated effort to address environmental degradation, crack down on scams and price gouging, improve infrastructure, reposition Thai islands toward quality over quantity tourism, and rebuild the reputation that's been damaged. This would require significant investment, political will, and coordination across government, business, and communities. The likelihood of this happening is low. A more pessimistic scenario is continued decline, where the islands become increasingly degraded, serving primarily budget domestic tourism and regional visitors, while international tourists choose alternatives. This would mean massive economic contraction, business closures, unemployment, and the permanent loss of Thailand's position as a premier beach destination. The islands won't disappear or become completely abandoned, but they may never recover their former glory or their position as must-visit destinations for international travelers. The damage to the environment, the reputation, and the economic model has been severe, and reversing it would require changes that show no signs of materializing. Walk along any Thai island beach at sunset, and you can still see glimpses of the paradise that used to exist. The sky turns orange and pink. The water reflects the light beautifully. The palm trees sway in the breeze. But look closer, and you'll see the empty beach chairs, the closed restaurants, the for sale signs on properties, the disappointed faces of tourists who expected more. The Thai island dream that drew millions of travelers is fading, and what replaces it remains unclear. The tragedy is that Thailand's islands could still be spectacular destinations if the fundamental problems were addressed. The natural beauty still exists underneath the degradation. The Thai hospitality culture could be revived. The value proposition could be restored. But it would require admitting there's a crisis, making difficult decisions, and investing in long-term sustainability over short-term profit. Until that happens, the exodus of tourists will continue, and the islands that once defined Southeast Asian beach paradise will keep slipping toward irrelevance. Have you visited Thai islands recently? What was your experience? Do you think they can recover, or have they been permanently damaged? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more honest reporting on Southeast Asian tourism.